everyone, thank you for joining me in another video, and today I am going to talk about a topic, and that topic is I read this article about the benefits of having a mental illness, 15, I think it's 15 benefits of having a mental illness, and I just thought I would say the points that the author makes, and then kind of express my opinion. And most of these I agree with, for the most part. Some of them I'm I don't know if that's really a benefit, but oh well. So it's interesting nonetheless. So let's get into it. So number one, the deep friendship/brotherhood with diverse and beautiful warriors of mental illness. So this is completely true. You guys can probably relate to this too if you make videos. So all the friends that I have made on YouTube and how close we are and how good our friendship is. Yeah, that's just incredible. How we instantly have something to bond over, and I do have some friends in real life too who struggle with mental illness or know someone who struggles with mental illness, like a family member or something. So we bonded over that, and just shared experience and stuff. And yeah, it definitely creates a deeper friendship, I think. So yeah, I'm able to encourage others. Yeah, definitely. If somebody is stressed out, upset for some reason, I'm able to give them encouragement and be oh, well, this, I know what you're going through, this has happened to me before, and I know you can get through it. Here's some tools that I've used to get through it before. So here's some suggestions that I have, and maybe you can try them out too, breathing exercises, or just writing it down, journaling, stuff like that. So yeah, what does the author say about this one? Okay, she's looking at this from another perspective. She's saying being the author of this article, writing for this website, she's able to encourage others, which, yeah, me being a YouTuber, I can definitely encourage others, I think, by my viewers seeing me and then being you know what, I think I can make mental health videos too. I'd like to share my experience. And yeah, if you're thinking that, if you're watching that and you haven't made a video yet, but you have stuff to say and stuff to share, then I encourage you to make a video, make your first video. And let me know so I can watch it and subscribe. I appreciate small acts of kindness. So this is one where I don't really feel it's really applies to people with mental illness. Obviously a lot of people appreciate small acts of kindness even if they don't have a mental illness. I think that's more just a personality thing. If you're kind, generous kind of person, then I think you just automatically appreciate small acts of kindness. But what the author was trying to say with this is that she's having a panic attack and she has to abruptly leave, and someone runs after her and is is everything okay? Is there anything I can do? Or she's at the grocery store and her face is red and her eyes are looking fresh from crying, and the cashier asks her, are you okay? And just that the people seeming to actually care about your state of well-being like genuinely care, that's kind of like you're able to like really appreciate that. So I see where she's coming from with this, but I don't know. On the other hand, I mean, I don't want to be like Debbie Downer here, but I think when people see someone who's like just got done crying, I think they feel like obligated to ask, "Are you okay?" and not just like ignore it. So when something is like obviously like happening, like if you have to like early for work and are just like, okay guys, I gotta go home. All right, I'm sorry, something happened. Like of course the other person is gonna ask like, are you okay? Like is everything all right? Is there something I can do? Like I think most people would probably do that. So I don't know if I totally agree with this one, but I appreciate good days. So yeah, definitely. I appreciate all of my days that I have that I do not have any symptoms and just I'm happy, I'm stable, not having an episode. I know who my real friends are. Yeah, I think this one's definitely true because um, friends who don't know you have a mental illness, like for me, for example, like I'm always like flaking out on my friends and like not making plans and shit like that, and like they don't take it personal because they know it's just me being a weirdo, me like having too much anxiety or just being depressed or something. So yeah, you definitely know who your real friends are in that sense. I am ready to handle whatever life throws at me. Alright, this is definitely one that I don't necessarily agree with because just like I definitely like I'm ready to handle whatever life throws at me. So you lose your house in a house fire, or you get fired from a job that you've had 5 years, or your parent dies. I'm not ready to handle that. In fact, I think me having a mental illness actually makes those kind of stressors or tragedies or whatever like more severe. Like, because I already get depressed or manic for no manic like reckless behaviors and stuff for no reason. Like if I actually have a reason, then it's just gonna be like that much worse. So I totally do not agree with this one. The author says like my classmates may stay up all night, panic cramming for an exam, while I am using coping skills to put together a game plan to prepare for the test. When they are all thinking about all the bad things that would happen if they fail, I am practicing in my head the positive affirmations my counselor taught me to deal with stress. Really? I guess. If you have a really good counselor that like, I mean, yeah, like if you go to therapy, then your therapist may suggest to you, hopefully, if they're a therapist, they are suggesting ways to deal with stress. They can offer you advice that like an average person who doesn't go to therapy doesn't know. So, yeah, I guess kind of. But I mean, saying like, oh, I can handle a test, that's not anything that life throws at you. Like, it's a fucking test. It's not your house exploded in a gas leak. Like, come on, guys. It inspires my creativity. Alright, another one that I don't really agree with. Yeah, I mean, sure, a lot of bipolar people are creative, especially when they're manic. This is because, I mean, you guys know what mania is. But a lot of non-bipolar people are creative. But then again, when you're on meds, like usually meds damper your creativity. So, because you're like, they're making you stable so you don't get into those like manic phases or like depressive episodes where you're able to like feed on those emotions and or like draw creativity from those feelings. So it teaches me to think creatively and solve problems. No, no, I don't think so. What is she saying about this? We've all been in meetings or worked on projects where everyone seemed to share the same opinion or employees all agreed with the boss. As someone with mental illnesses, I tend to think differently. I have perspectives and invent different ways to beat an obstacle. I mean, you kind of do get creative when you have a mental illness on how to like beat an obstacle because you have to like compensate for things. Like if you have really bad anxiety, like just going to the grocery store, then you kind of like think like, okay, well, I can go to the grocery store at 9 a.m. and I can take the back route where there aren't as many cars on the road. So, just like the least, I can go to self-checkout, just all these things, so the least amount of anxiety I will experience. But, so that's kind of like looking at things differently, like kind of like coming up with a strategy. But as far as like generally thinking creatively to solve problems, I mean, I've been in meetings and worked with people who think of creative ways to solve problems, and I mean, I wouldn't think that all of those people are suffering with mental illness. So I think that's something that just some personalities can do it better. Not, yeah. All right. Anyways, it makes life more interesting. So, I mean, I don't know if this is a good thing, but yeah, it kind of does because it gives you so many more experiences. Like, guys, I have made so many mistakes, like due to mania. So, like, yeah, like all the shit that I have done, it's made my life more interesting. If I were to continue on that path and like keep having these like full blown manic episodes where I did like terrible, ridiculous things, then that wouldn't really be interesting. I would just like be in jail and then it would not be interesting. It would be very boring. So, yeah, I mean, yes and no. Before you like, okay, so, alright, what I'm going to say about this one is it makes life more interesting. Before your diagnosis, yes, life was probably more interesting because you were undiagnosed and having all these episodes, and your life was more interesting due to your episodes than it might have been if you didn't have a mental illness. But after you're medicated and you're not having as intensive episodes anymore, then is life really more interesting? No, probably not. My brokenness allows others to be real. So, yeah, like, if you open up saying like, oh, yeah, like, if you share, like, with a coworker or something, like, blah, 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 but my anxiety makes it really difficult for me, then they could be real with you and be like, oh, well, yeah, my, like, depression makes this thing hard for me. So it's kind of like, you, like, can quickly, like, create trust with others sometimes. So my brokenness allows others to be real. Yeah. The emotional strength and courage I've gained by managing my mental illness. Yeah, this one I think is definitely true. Um, Definitely gained a lot of emotional strength from all the shit that we have been through. We're just like fucking emotional bodybuilders. It will equip me to be a better counselor. Oh, and okay, so the author says this reason is personal to me, but it is for me too, you guys. Yeah, now, again, I think surely there are tons and tons of therapists and counselors out there who are just like incredible at their job and they don't suffer from mental illness. But I think having a mental illness and being a counselor can really like give you an advantage that other counselors don't really have because like you can really relate to the patient. So yeah. Wow, you guys, this has been a really long video. I've just completely blabbered on and on and on. And I'm so sorry about that. If you are still watching this, thank you for staying with me. And if you guys liked this video, please tell me and I will do more videos like this. Like, if you guys, like, cause like, I've just been making random life update videos for like the past 6 months, if not longer than that. Maybe like the last year. I think like the last year. Like, I've been making some topic videos, but not very many. So tell me what you guys think of this topic video and tell me if you like it. And yeah, please subscribe to me if you have not already. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.